Yeah, they are not interested to address to your hurt, pain and suffering. Yeah, but they want you to address to their hurt, pain and suffering. Hello everyone, I hope everyone is doing good and taking good care of themselves. So today I'm going to talk about the different ways narcissistic parents play victim. And before I get going, I would request you all to like, share, subscribe the channel, hit the notification bell so you guys are updated whenever we put out a new content. So narcissistic parents are entitled individuals. They lack empathy, they have inability to self-reflect, they are unable to handle frustrating situation and scenario. They are unable to handle any kind of criticism. It's all about them. And in general, they are extremely self-centered individuals. Yeah, so as long as they are getting their daily dose of admiration, attention, validation, everything is okay. The moment they don't get what they want, that's the time when they unleash their rage and wrath onto their supply sources. Yeah, narcissistic parents don't spare their kids because they have bred for a purpose and reason. Yeah, they have created this legion of slaves to serve them. Yeah, so narcissistic parents are big time into controlling, manipulating and exploiting their kids. They feel entitled. They think that it's a part of them and not a separate individual with their uniqueness and autonomy. So as a result of which narcissistic parents vehemently and ruthlessly manipulate, gaslight and exploit and abuse their children. Narcissistic parents really don't care what the kids go through or what the kids feel on the inside. That's none of their concern. Yeah, but narcissistic parents would want the kid to understand and feel what the parents are going through. Yeah, it's pretty one way, very monological. The kid should address the parents emotion and feelings, but the kid shouldn't expect anything in return. Yeah, because the kid has been bred to serve the narcissistic parent and not himself or herself. Yeah, so I know it's really sad, but that's how things are in narcissistic families. So what are the different ways narcissistic parents play victim? And before I get going, let me tell you, in a narcissistic family with these narcissistic parents will either be victim, a martyr or a hero. Yeah, they will never be the villain. Mind it, you guys must have noticed at some point. So narcissistic individuals are never the villain. Yeah, they are either the victim, the martyr, the hero, and that's it. So who gets that tag of being the villain? It's you and the others. So if you call out their bad behavior, if you criticize them, if you say no to them, then they are going to put up a amazing show, and in that show they are going to project and label you as the villains, as someone who is ungrateful, someone who doesn't value all of their work and all of their contribution. So narcissistic parents have a lot of tactics up their sleeve to either shift the blame onto you and make you the villain, or shift the blame onto someone else and make them the villain. Yeah, narcissistic parents are never villain. They are always hero, martyr or the victim. Yeah, so now coming back to the different ways narcissistic parents play victim. The first way is that they are the ones who is always hurt and not you. Yeah, this is again to basically gaslight you, to betray your own feelings and emotion and prioritize the narcissistic parents feeling and emotion. So narcissistic parents are always the one who's hurt. Yeah, no matter what you do or what they do, they are the ones who keep suffering. They are the ones who are hurt always. Yeah, because you need to understand, in a narcissistic family you have to feel the way how the narcissistic parent feels. You cannot feel independently. Yeah, it's like a system. So if the narcissist is feeling good, you can somewhat feel good. If the narcissist is feeling miserable, you should also feel miserable, and you should do anything and everything in your capacity to help them. Yeah, to take care of their sorrow, pain, and whatever is going with them. You should focus on them and help them and alleviate them. Yeah, so narcissistic parents are the ones who's always hurt, no matter how much they hurt you, but they are the ones who is going to say how hurt they are. Yeah, and this is because of extreme sense of entitlement, lack of empathy. They really don't care the different ways their action and behavior hurts you. Yeah, they are not interested to address to your hurt, pain, and suffering. Yeah, but they want you to address to their hurt, pain, and suffering. So this is one of the ways how these narcissistic parents play victim. Yeah, they will be the ones who is always hurt. Yeah, the moment you don't do something their way, the moment you say no, the moment you don't volunteer to do something which they want you to do, that's the time they are hurt. Yeah, if you are doing things your way, they are hurt. They are hurt for every goddamn thing that you do your way. Yeah, so how do you handle that and manage that? Just do things their way, and they will not be hurt, because the moment they are hurt, they are going to do all sorts of nasty things. They are going to summon their flying monkeys, they are going to triangulate. Yeah, they are going to scapegoat you, give silent treatment, treat you passive aggressively. They will do all sorts of nasty stuff. Yeah, and mind it, this hurt is self-perceived hurt. Yeah, so you might not have any intention to hurt them, or you might not have hurt them in any ways, but if they want, they can perceive any action of yours as hurt, as a threat, and then they are going to do endless numbers on you. Yeah, so this is the first way narcissistic parents play victim. They are the ones who's always hurt, and not you. Even though they are hurting you, beating you, gaslighting you, manipulating you, withholding love and affection, treating you with silent treatment, but all of that doesn't qualify as hurt. Yeah, but when you say no, when you don't do things their way, that is something which is hurtful for them. Yeah. The second way narcissistic parents play victim is by pretending to be the ones who are never listened to. Yeah, so they are going to tell you, well, you never listened to me, I was advising you, I was suggesting you this and that, you never listened to me, you always do things your way, and look what shame you have brought onto the family, this, that. Yeah, so they are the ones who are going to shift the blame onto you, and they are going to play victim, and they are going to tell you that they are the ones who are never listened. Yeah, you never listen to them or seek their counsel and suggestion, and you land up in some trouble, and that's it. They are going to keep ranting that you never listened to me, and look what you have ended up with, look what you have got into. So narcissistic parents have their own unique way of playing victim. Yeah, the first way was that they are the ones who's always hurt, even though if they are hurting you, but you won't be put into the category of being hurt. Yeah, they are the ones for whom this category is reserved. Yeah, they are the ones who can only be hurt, and not you. Yeah, the second way is that you never listen to them, they are not listened to. Yeah, you do things your way, and that's it, and you land up in some mess, you get into some trouble. And you need to understand, in narcissistic families there is no room for learning from mistakes. At this point of time, I strongly believe that until unless you don't do mistakes, you are not learning an important lesson. So mistake is very essential for your growth and progress. But in narcissistic families, there is no room for mistakes. They are such control freaks, these narcissistic parents. They simply want you to be like a puppet, and them as the ones who is going to pull the strings. So narcissistic parents are going to play victim, and they are going to tell you, well, you never listen to me, you do things your way, and now look what has happened. Yeah, so this is another way they play victim. The next way narcissistic parents play victim is by telling you that you never followed their advice. Yeah, we all do mistakes, we all do get into some kind of shit or the other, and we learn from different experiences, we learn from our mistakes. But narcissistic parents really don't want to give us that freedom and liberty. Yeah, they might have learned a great deal of things by doing all sorts of things, and by making mistakes, but they don't want you to go and venture, yeah, things outside of their control system. Yeah, they don't want you to do mistake, they don't want you to do something which has error or flaw, because they see you as an extension of themselves. Yeah, and there is no room for mistakes, because you are a part of them, you are not seen as an individual entity, you are seen as an extension of them. So you are not expected to do any mistake, because if you are going to do mistake, it's going to challenge the kind of facade that they have put up. Yeah, perfect, entitled, knows everything, and if you do a mistake, it's going to bring disgrace to that projection, it's going to bring disgrace to the image that they have built. So there is no room for mistakes. So narcissistic parents are into playing victim by telling you that you never take their advice seriously, you never follow their advice. Yeah, and this helps them evade any kind of accountability and responsibility. In a healthy setup, you are allowed to do mistakes, and you are allowed to learn from your mistakes, and then parents are there. Yeah, parents do provide that reassurance to their kids that it's okay, so what if you fail, so what if you do mistakes, I'm there. Yeah, but such reassurance is never provided in narcissistic family by narcissistic parents. Yeah, you simply have to outperform yourself, you simply have to be the best. Yeah, if you are not the best, all of the bad stuff is going to happen with you. Yeah, narcissistic parents are not going to treat you the way how other parents treat their kids, healthy parents treat their kids. Narcissistic parents are going to do a number on you, withhold love and affection. They are not going to validate you, they are not going to treat you the way you deserve. Yeah, the way how you want, or the way how every kid wants. They are going to stop all of that, they are not going to supply you. Yeah, they are going to withhold all of that, because you have done mistake, you have done something which might jeopardize their image and position. Yeah, because they have built a castle of lies. Yeah, and they really don't want any of your mistakes and errors to jeopardize their image, their false facade that they have built. So narcissistic parents have all sorts of different ways to guilt trip you, to manipulate you. Yeah, and to keep you on hook. The next way narcissistic parents play victim is by pretending as if they are misunderstood. Yeah, so they have your greater good, yeah, inside of them. They want to do what's best for you, but somewhere or the other they are misunderstood. You are unable to see and understand the deeper meaning, yeah, behind their action. You are simply fighting them, resisting their abuse, you are simply saying no. Yeah, and that is something which gives them this opportunity. Yeah, where they can project themselves as someone who's being misunderstood. They will ruthlessly antagonize you psychologically, emotionally. They are going to gaslight you, treat you with silent treatment, withhold love and affection. And when you start calling out their bad behavior, when you start confronting them, when you start saying no to all of the bad stuff that they are throwing at you, that is the time they are going to play victim by shifting the blame onto you. Yeah, so they are going to, you know, project themselves as victim, and then they are going to shift the blame onto you, and they are going to tell you, well, I was doing this for your greater good. You might not understand now, but later you are going to realize and understand that all of it was, you know, for your greater good. I have your best interest in heart. Yeah, even though if I was slapping you, hitting you, abusing you, controlling you, manipulating you, exploiting you, giving you silent treatment, all of it was for your greater good. Yeah, so they are the ones who is going to play victim by, you know, blaming you and telling you that you never understood, you know, the meaning behind their action. You failed to, you know, understand them. You have simply misunderstood them. Yeah, and that helps them evade any kind of accountability and responsibility. Yeah, because in narcissistic families, narcissistic parents always have some kind of, you know, your greater good, you know, behind anything that they do with you. Yeah, so if they are going to abuse you in public, if they are going to exert control, if they are going to beat you, if they are going to you know, swear at you, it's for your greater good. Yeah, so the only way, you know, to handle and manage such situation is to keep your mouth shut. Because if you are going to tell them that you are being vile, you are being abusive, you are being selfish and mean, you are being hurtful, that is the time they are going to put on their, you know, victim coat, and then they are going to simply shift the blame onto you, that you are misunderstanding. Yeah, I am doing all of this for your greater good, for your best interest. The next way narcissistic parents play victim is by, you know, telling you that they are the ones who feel as if, you know, they are misled. Yeah, so if you know, help them with some decisions, or if you engage in some kind of activity with them which doesn't have, you know, the kind of output that they were expecting, so they are not going to, you know, take the responsibility of the entire situation and scenario. They are going to, you know, shift the blame onto you. Yeah, I was misled into doing this, I was misled into believing this, I was misled into buying this. Yeah, you simply misled me into, you know, spending my money. Yeah, so you are the one who is going to be blamed. They are not the one. They are innocent, very sweet, very caring. They always have your best interest at heart. So, you know, they are going to simply blame you, and they are going to project themselves as the victim, and they are going to tell you, well, you simply misled me. Yeah, I was not willing to get into this, I was not willing to do this way, you made me do it. Yeah, and that helps them to preserve that image, that helps them to, you know, feel a little good. I'm superior, I know it all, I have not done the mistake, you made me do this mistake. Yeah, the next way narcissistic parents play victim is, you know, by telling you that they are the ones who feel unloved. Yeah, so if you distance yourself, if you know, keep certain things to yourself, and if you simply mind your own business, or if any situation arises where, you know, there is a kind of a conversation, and you tell them that I feel that you don't love me the way how you love my other sibling, that is the time they are simply going to shift everything onto you. Yeah, so they are going to tell you, well, you feel that way, let me tell you, that's the wrong thing, you shouldn't feel that way, because it's me who's not being loved and not you. Yeah, so they are going to, you know, recall, and they are going to do a tally work of all the bare minimum that they have done for you. Yeah, they are going to remind you of that, and they are going to tell you all of those, you know, bare minimum things they have done for you. They are going to talk about and they are going to remind you of all the, you know, superficial good stuff they made you experience. Yeah, to further, you know, instill this guilt and shame inside of you. Yeah, to make you feel, you know, as if you are the one who's ungrateful. Yeah, it's basically to turn the entire game. Yeah, so if you try and talk things out with them, if you try and tell them, you know, how unloved you felt at one point, they are not going to buy that, or they are not going to, you know, converse the way how healthy parents do. Yeah, people do talk various things, and if somewhere, parents do mistake, healthy parents have the courage. They don't have ego, whereas then they don't apologize. Healthy parents do apologize for their mistake, and they try and work things out. Yeah. But with narcissistic parents, things are different. They are always right. They are the martyr, they are the victim, or they are the hero. Yeah. So narcissistic parents are never going to, accept that, they have done something because of which you felt, neglected and unloved. Yeah. Instead, they are going to blame you. Yeah. Despite of me doing this, despite of me doing that, this is what I get in return. It's me who feels unloved and not you. The next way narcissistic parents, play victim is by telling you that they are the ones, who is not accepted. They want you to accept them, with their qualities and flaws, but, not expect anything in return from them. They will have their conditional love in place, intact. Yeah. They are not going to love you if you are, not the way how they want, but they want you to accept them, with all, the bad stuff, with all the crap that they throw at you. Yeah. They don't want you to judge them. They want you to accept them wholeheartedly, but not, seek anything in return. Yeah. So the narcissistic parent is always a victim, a martyr, or a hero. Yeah. So narcissistic parents, are going to, tell you, and this is basically again, to instill guilt and shame, that you don't accept me the way I am. Everyone is different and unique. You simply, don't accept me the way how I am. Yeah. It's a part of who I am. I mean, it's a part of my nature, personality. You don't accept me the way how I am. But if the child, replies the parent and tells the parent that, Mom, why don't you accept me the way how I am? Then they are going to, put up a show, create drama, chaos, summon their flying monkeys, do a number on you, and then, make you look like, the villain. Yeah. You or the others are the villain in a narcissist story. Yeah. They are not the villain. Yeah. So narcissistic parents are going to, blame you and tell you that they, were the ones who was not accepted. Even though they are not accepting you for who you are, they are not encouraging you, to be your authentic self. They are simply telling you to betray your own self. uh, but they are not going to listen to it. Yeah. They are the ones who's been victimized, and this is basically to make you look like a bad guy. Yeah. Basically to make you look like a bad person in front of the others, in front of the siblings, extended family, neighbor, family, friends. Yeah. So narcissistic parents are very smart. And the last way narcissistic parents play victim is by, projecting themselves as the ones who's been abused by you. Yeah. So they are not going to talk about the different ways they have exploited and abused you, but if you distance yourself, go no contact, or don't do things their way, they have, a unique way of, creating chaos and drama, and projecting you as the bad guy, projecting you as the villain, and them as the ones who has been victimized, them as the ones who has been abused by you. Yeah. So I mean, it happens. Sometimes we want, our family to address our feeling, experience. Yeah. But there is no room for all those stuff in narcissistic families. It's all about narcissistic parent. That's it. Yeah. Keep worshiping the narcissistic parent, keep serving them, and that's it. If you are being yourself, if you are saying no to all that abuse and toxicity, if you are going no contact, or if you're not, dancing on the tunes of the narcissistic parent, then they have a lot of ways to, project you as the bad guy, to scapegoat you, to, run smear campaign against you, to really vilify your image. Yeah. In the family. Yeah. In the close relation. So narcissistic parents are the ones who will, project themselves as the victim, someone who has been abused, and not the other way around. So it's practically useless and impossible to have a healthy dialogue with narcissistic individuals, in this case narcissistic parents, because no matter what you say, what you do, what evidences you present, they are never the villain. They are forever the martyr, the victim, and in some of the cases, the hero. Yeah. And others are the villain. And if you point out and if you resist their abusive behavior, then you are the one who's abusing them. You are the one who's antagonizing them. Yeah. I know it's really sad, but this is how things are. The saddest part, according to me, is that society really enables narcissistic parents. Yeah, it's okay if you hit your child. So what? The parent is doing for your greater good. I hit you, I treated you that way, and look where you are. Yeah. So our society has unique ways of enabling narcissistic individuals, narcissistic parents. And that's the reason, I'm talking about Asia. There is a lot of dysfunctionality in every family at different level. And I get to see a lot of people being full blown narcissists. Yeah. With men you can see the grandioseness, and with women mostly I have seen and encountered covert narcissists. So it's very common in Asia, and it has been culturally, religiously, socially appropriated that parents can abuse. They bred you, so they have the access and right to abuse you and do whatever they want. Yeah. And get away saying, well, I did it for your greater good. Yeah. So I know it's sad, but this is how things are. So yes, this was it. In case if you would like to add in something, you can always comment below. Till then, take care of yourself. Lots of love and blessings to all of you. And please don't ignore the red flags. Prioritize your healing, prioritize your own self, because it's a beautiful life. Don't really burn yourself out serving the narcissist. Do find out some me time and work on yourself. Slow and steady wins the race. Yeah, Rome was not built in a day. So recovery, healing is not easy. It takes time.